Leaders create culture. Culture drives behaviors or actions. Behaviors or actions deliver results. The Want to Tempo Us Culture Playbook. How do we go about developing it? Well, the focus is on developing leadership. But how do we get leaders to lead in a direction that builds a championship culture? Give them a playbook, something to follow. So the playbook, we have a core value. Those core values are want to, tempo, and us. Those core values drive behaviors, but those behaviors need to be intentional. They're geared towards delivering an outcome. So let's start with the outcomes. So want to. What's the outcome we want to deliver with it? We want to be the most prepared team on each and every Saturday on game day when things are most important. So what behavior do we need to have in place in order to deliver that outcome? We want intentional investment in filling our toolbox, relentless investment in filling our toolbox. So what is our toolbox? Those are the tools or the fundamentals that we have that can deliver the results on those Saturdays. So it's that intentional investment. We also want to have the resourcefulness to use those tools when faced with two things that tend to stand in the way of progress. The first is success. Consistent success often leads to complacency. So we want to trust ourselves to use our toolbox when we have success to continue to build. The idea, if you do something good, okay, great, get better. We also want to have the resourcefulness to use those tools when we face adversity or when we fail. Okay, you sucked. Get better. In those two situations, it is the easiest time to go away from that toolbox. And in reality, it's the time that you should bear down and use that toolbox to better yourself. The second core value, tempo. Well, what's the outcome that we want to deliver with great tempo? We want to be the toughest team on Saturday. So what is the behavior needed to be the toughest team? We got to be relentless in how we play, start to finish. Anything that we start, we finish, and we do it with a sense of urgency. In football, a singular play is about 6 seconds of length. So relentless play for 6 seconds. But that needs to carry over to everything we do in every aspect of our life. It is part of who we are. It is part of our culture. So if we're doing that consistently, we're relentless in our approach, we develop ourselves as the toughest team for each and every Saturday. So now we're the most prepared and the toughest team on each Saturday. Us. Football life, greatest team games there are. Taking a position of strength to better yourselves. So what is the outcome we want to deliver with that us core value? We want to build a brotherhood of trust where we know and have confidence that each one of our teammates has our six and we absolutely have their six. We have their back. So how do you go about doing it? In everything that we do, we take the approach of we have strengths and weaknesses. We want to take our strengths, take a position of strength to use those strengths to better our teammates. We also know that we have weaknesses. We need to check our ego at the door, recognize what our weaknesses are, and train those hard so that we are never exposed and our teammates are never exposed by our weaknesses. So we're going to develop our weakness to protect our teammates, and we're going to train our strengths in order to better our teammates. So that is the Want to Tempo Us cultural playbook. Now that's great. That is something for our leaders to use, but we need to embed that in everything that we do throughout our lives. So along with that cultural playbook, we also developed what we called our platform for success. That platform for success was made up of 5 basic characteristics at the bottom of the platform. Those 5 characteristics funnel back into our core values of want to, tempo, and us. The cornerstone block on the left for us was passion. Nothing great on earth happens without passionate people behind it. Passionate people are relentless, lifelong learners. The second block is work ethic. Work ethic with intent. It's intentional work ethic, which means it's designed to deliver on goals. So our work ethic with intent is a one more than you approach to what we do. Third block, integrity. So think of integrity like the hull of a ship. A ship floats, a boat floats if it doesn't have a hole in it. If it has a hole in it, water comes onto it. So we want to be sound in what we do. So being sound and sound in action. So this is stolen a little bit from Urban Meyer. Okay, above the line. We want our actions to be men of integrity in our actions. So what is a man of integrity? How does he act? He's intentional. Means everything he does has a goal in mind. He's on process. So if there's a goal, you develop a process to get there. You stay on process. The process. Right? Who said that? The GOAT, Nick Saban. So we're intentional on process. And because we're intentional on process, we develop skillful actions. So it's intentional, on process, and skillful. Now, what's the opposite? What are actions that lack integrity? So they're men of compromise, compromised in their approach. Their actions are impulsive, which means the same thing happens, the same result is how we respond to it. And that means you're on autopilot. And if you're on autopilot, you're resistant to change. There's one thing in life that you're promised, and that's change. Poor leaders fear change. Good leaders adapt with change. Great leaders take advantage of the opportunity that change creates. So, integrity. Be a man of integrity versus a man of compromise. Take integrity and selflessness, which is the next block. Those two funnel into us. Selflessness. We all have strengths and weaknesses. Use your strengths to better your teammates. Train your weaknesses to protect your teammates. And the fifth is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is focused energy. Everybody can be excited when things are going great. Ray Lewis, I want to know the guy that's going to fight with me when we're down 28 in the fourth quarter, not the guy that's fighting with me when we're up by 14 in the first quarter. So enthusiasm is focused energy, and it's focused energy when faced with adversity and tough situations, when you got to go and grind. I look at it like day 4 of football camp. So day 1 of football camp, everybody's excited to be there. It's the first day. Day 2, everybody's excited, but they're looking forward to day 3 when you put your shoulder pads on to figure out who the real football players are. The guys who don't hesitate at contact, that'll pull the trigger. Day 3 is usually one of the best days that you're going to have in your first camp. That first full camp. Then day 4 happens. Day 4, everybody's sore and tired from 16-hour days of meetings and practices. So everybody's tired. Day 4 has the opportunity to be one of your worst days. So as a coach, what I would always do is get my staff together and give them a reminder. This is day 4. We're tired. They're tired. Right? Make sure that you're paying attention to your entire lineup. Not just your guys who are in a drill, but the guys that are in the line in the back of the drill, how their body language is. What's their approach? And what we try to do is we would target our young freshmen, right, who were go-getters and were getting after it and we're still bringing a bunch of energy. We target our ones that were swimming the most. And then we would partner them up with upperclassmen who we try to identify as what's the upperclassman that's still they're leading and bringing value every day. Let's put them with our young guys who are swimming the most. And we'd figure out the older guys that are just trying to coast through their 3rd or 4th camp. And we put them with the young hard charger, create some fireworks, but they would become accountability partners for the rest of the camp. At the end of camp, we might reevaluate and change it, but sometimes those accountability partners stay together for the entire season. So that's enthusiasm. Okay, those are the 5 basic characteristics for review. All right, passion, work ethic, integrity, selflessness, and enthusiasm. The second level of the platform for success is leadership, confidence, and competitive greatness. It's a continuum to get you to making great decisions. Leadership. In our program, we want to teach 2 different types of leadership, good leadership and great leadership. Define good leadership. Good leadership Good leaders will get people to believe in the leader. If you're doing a good job as a leader, people will believe in you. How do you do that? Be 100% accountable. If you're 100% accountable to your responsibilities, people trust you and they can lean on you and they believe in you. Now, how do you become a great leader? Not only are you accountable 100% of the time, you also bring somebody along with you. You help them prepare. Right? If you're going to do something extra, you're going to put some extra work in, never do it by yourself. Bring somebody with you. Bring one of your teammates with you. Now you're becoming a great leader. So those good leaders and great leaders, they develop their confidence through their preparation. That second block is confidence. Confidence is a matter of preparation. If you're prepared, you'll be confident. If you're not, you'll be hesitant. So prepare, prepare, prepare. Now, you take leadership and confidence, you add those two things together, it provides the opportunity for you to achieve competitive greatness. That's stolen from John Wooden, head basketball coach at UCLA. Top of his pyramid, right, competitive greatness. Now, take that competitive greatness. How did he define it? He defined it as being at your best when your best is needed. I do not have the right to do this, but I took the opportunity anyway. I redefined it a little bit. I said, be at your best for your 6 seconds. In football, a singular play is 6 seconds in time. Our goal is to get you as a player or you as a person to make great decisions during your 6 seconds. Most impactful decisions you make in your life are truly made in just a few seconds. So are you prepared to make a great decision at that point? So what's a great decision? Or more importantly, what's a great decision in comparison to a good decision? So I look at it from a parenting perspective when I look at this. So what's a good decision? Well, a good decision is what I wanted our daughter to make when she was 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. I wanted her to make good decisions. Those are decisions that kept her safe and kept mom and dad happy. They were right decisions. They're good decisions. Now, what's a great decision? This is the point in time that we're in her life now where she's 14 years old, and I want her to make great decisions. Those are good decisions that she makes because of her leadership and her confidence in her preparation. They're no longer based upon approval. They're based upon development. If you want to develop yourself, you have to make great decisions. So that platform for success, the first level, passion, work ethic, integrity, selflessness, and enthusiasm. Second level, leadership, confidence, and competitive greatness. Providing the template for you to make great decisions, supported by the 1-2 Tempo Us culture. See you next time.